All right, we are live, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the CrewCast podcast. This is episode 3. We are live. We are not really live, but we're live here with us. So there we go. We are here for another episode. Wild. And we have a nice lineup here. Again, we have Sidearms for Reason. We have Shadow Beats. We have Nobody Epic and D20. Speedy is also listening in, so he might join in every once in a while. But for the most part, we do appreciate all the feedback that we've gotten. I know Joel and I have talked a little bit about it. D20 and I have talked a little bit about the feedback that we've gotten so far. It's been really, really nice. It's been really good. Keep it up. We look at all your comments, and one of the comments said that they wanted us to talk about phobias, and that's what we're going to start off with today. We're going to talk about phobias. I'll go ahead and start it off with phobias. I don't have a lot. Like if there was ever a spider, or there was a mouse, or anything in our house, I was always the one to go and kill it.
Bars, dude.
I know, straight bars. But when I was younger, I always caught lizards. I always wasn't afraid of snakes and stuff like that. It was always, if there's critters, I didn't mind. The biggest phobia I have is I have a fear of heights. And I know it sounds plain and simple, but I've been to like the Sears Tower. I've also been, I think the name has changed now. Joel, did you tell me you've been to Chicago?
It's the Willis Tower now.
The Willis Tower.
What you talking about, Willis Tower?
What you talking about, Willis? But yeah, I've been there, and they have like the sky deck, and it was like glass, and I can't even go close. Like my feet start to get numb, my legs start to tremble. I just freak out. I always imagine myself falling over the edge to a terrible death. And it's so bad of heights, I cannot even watch the people that do the parkour up on those crazy, sky high freaking buildings and tight ropes and things like that. I can't even watch it on YouTube. It gives me a
Russian
weird
YouTube channels.
I know, right?
They're always Russian and they're always climbing Chinese skyscrapers.
Isn't that crazy though? Like, have y'all seen that stuff? That is nutso. I can't even watch that. It makes me almost cringe because I just like, oh no. I know that person doesn't fall, but at the end of the day, I'm like, you're crazy. You're like, your life is not meaningful enough to you. If that's what you have to do to get a rush, then you're out of my league there. So mine for sure has got to be heights. Heights is and have always been a big thing for me. So I don't know. What about you guys?
Snakes.
Snakes? Like what kind of snake? We talking like garden snakes? We talking regular snakes? What are we talking?
Trouser snakes.
I don't want to say any snakes because like the little garter snakes that are fine, like the small ones, like they're kind of cool. Like, I can respect them. Like ain't nobody gonna be afraid of them, and if you are, you fucking I don't understand. But fucking just like any other snake that has like any decent size to it, I can't. I'm kind of like with you. Like I get like a chill down my spine, and I can't look at it. Like I start to feel nauseous, and it's so weird because it wasn't always like that. Like when I was younger, I fucking loved snakes. Like I couldn't get enough of them. Like I would always watch. I would like go on Animal Planet and something, just hoping that they would have like a documentary of just like this huge like 40-foot python that somebody found in their backyard. I'm just like, oh yeah, give me this huge giant snake in my mouth. But like now it's just one day I woke up and like I can't handle it.
What age are we talking about here, Shadow? Like
I don't know. There was a Far Cry stream that I did once, and I mean there was a mission in there where like basically you had to go in and kill a whole bunch of snakes, and it took me a half an hour to do because like just video game snakes I can't even handle. Like I did not want to go into that house. I didn't want to see their slithery fucking-ness, and I'm sure it was hilarious for all the assholes watching, but yeah, it was terrible. Snakes. I can't.
You hearing this side? We got him, man. We got his weakness. We have his weakness.
I've told you this a million times. And if you fuckers send me a fucking box full of snakes,
it's already thinking about it, man.
If
like,
you send me a box full of snakes, I know where all of you live. I will fly to your house, and I will beat the shit out of you.
So you can't even watch like snakes on a plane?
No.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I'm like that with anything, dude. That seems like
Phobias? You don't have a phobia.
Well,
Oh my god, ladybugs, any bugs, anything?
I wouldn't
Ladybugs?
wait, hold on.
Anything that's alive?
Let me repeat exactly what I just said since you guys don't fucking listen. I don't have anything like that where I wouldn't be able to play a game because there's a bug in it.
Game. Okay,
yeah, or like watch a movie with it in it.
What if it was VR?
Still, it's not real.
Well, the threat of ladybugs isn't real either.
I mean, I'm not scared of ladybugs. I just don't like them being around me.
That's some bullshit. I've heard you drop controllers, mics, chairs, Pepsi cans.
Oh my god, guys, there's a ladybug in my room.
And did you guys laugh? Hell yeah. Son, why did you make us laugh?
It's a prank.
Son, it's just a prank. I mean, the only good bug, and, snakes are pretty bad too. The only good snake is a dead snake. Right?
That's what I'm fucking saying.
But I don't know. Bug, I mean, I don't have a phobia of anything. I don't know. Would you consider a phobia as like what Shadow is saying? Like you can't even watch a movie with it in it without...
well, not really.
An irrational fear.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I don't have a fear of anything. I don't like some stuff.
I don't have a fear of anything.
Please.
I do want to say something though, Deluxe.
Yeah, go
ahead.
Before we go any further with your fear of heights, you said falling to some horrible death is something. Honestly, like if we're picking ways to go,
You want that one?
I think falling like 1,000 feet and then just instant splatting. I think that's not a bad way to go because you're not feeling any pain, and like if you have your wits about you, like that'd probably be awesome, like an awesome feeling, like just falling all that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to go skydiving.
I've always imagined myself dying in a car accident. I know that's really weird. I know that's really fucked up, but I don't know why. But that's another side phobia of mine. It's halfway dying. It's dying is part of the phobia, and also dying in a car crash phobia because there's more people that die in car crashes than planes and all this stuff. And I've had people in my school die of car crashes, and I just can't. I can't even fathom losing a family member. I can't fathom even getting in a car crash. I actually got in a car crash when I was a senior in high school. Me and a friend of mine were headed to school. School was about 30 minutes away from my house. We live in a smaller city, and we had to drive to the bigger city to go to school. And D20 went there too. But we were driving one morning, and it was me, him, and his sister, and a kid. I later found out. No. A kid later. Damn.
Why
A kid later.
Yeah. What's the story got to do with anything?
A kid had a mild case of narcolepsy, and he was driving, and he hit us. He didn't even stop at the stop sign. He hit us. We were driving some old piece of shit, like $400. I don't even know. It was like Toyota Corolla. He hit us from the side, like directly in my door. And when he hit us, my buddy tried to swerve, and when he swerved, the tires caught. We flipped upside down and landed on the roof. And I was like, it was slow motion to me. When we actually were upside down with the car, all the glass in the car busted, and it was just. I remember hearing a ringing sound, and the first thing you do is you check and see if you're bleeding, if everything's okay, and then everything kind of comes in like it's almost
was
like...
your screen around you red?
It was almost like the sound of like a flashbang. But anyways, like a flashbang, and all the sound comes back to you and hits you real quick, and then everything just kind of comes to, and then you start checking on everybody else, and I had like adrenaline pumping. I got out, I helped the people out that were with me, and then I started walking towards him, the kid that just hit us, and I was pissed, and I was going to whoop his ass, and that was the first thing I did. And then this woman ran up to me. She said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Because we were close to a neighborhood. She heard it and came up to me, and I had glass all up and down my arm and part of my face, and we went. I just remember that I wanted to kill him, and that was the first instinct. I don't know why that was. I just was. Yeah. I ended up going to the hospital, getting checked out, blah, blah, blah. We learned later that he shouldn't even been driving in the first place. He didn't even have a driver's license because of his narcolepsy. And we settled out of court for $1,000, which is really, really cheap but we settled we didn't really want the money. They made us take it. They're like, here, we want to give you $1,000 for your pain and suffering, blah, blah, blah. Totaled the car, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I just kind of want to throw that story in there because that was like the biggest fear. One of the biggest fears of mine as well was getting in a car wreck and dying. And I've been in a bad car wreck before, so I don't want that to happen.
You said your friend was driving?
Yeah, my friend was driving, yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have problems with like other people driving that aren't you?
I usually drive everywhere I go. Just because I want the, even H1Z1, I want all the control to be in my hands.
You don't become number one driver by letting other people
right?
drive.
Exactly. So
if I'm not driving.
Like, I don't mind. Like, if Joel or like if one of you guys drives, that's fine. But
we've
like,
ridden with Joel before. You saw what
Yeah.
happened. He almost killed a guy.
Nearly killed the guy.
No, a guy almost killed himself by running into my
the
car.
tie-dye shirt, dude. I remember.
No, I can't forget it. Yeah, it's burned in my
Joel
mind.
was so
But-
pissed too. He was just like, "Fuck that guy!" He walked out in front of me. I'm like, "What? Hello?"
If one of you guys are driving, I don't mind. But like, if one of my real life friends, like my peers, are driving, I get super fucking nervous. Like, I won't even go in their car. Like, no, dude, it's fine. I'll just drive myself. Because I know, dude, no one's gonna be more careful than me. Shit.
Yeah, that's a good idea to have. Like, I like that too. So I'm kind of that same way. I don't even like my mom driving. So.
Oh well, no. I don't mind
know.
if my parents drive or something. I'm just talking about people my age. You feel?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just an asshole and self-centered, but
Yeah, I have a problem like if somebody's like if I feel like they're following somebody too close and like I'm in the passenger seat, like I always like push my foot like down on
like
the
to the
floorboard
brake.
or whatever, like like slow your ass down. Kind of thing. Slow your ass down.
You're like one of those student
Usually when I'm
drivers that
riding
have
with
the pedals
D4.
over there. Oh,
Yeah.
please. Here's how bad I am. Like with car links,
No, guys,
I always
I'm worse.
keep 3 car links pretty much with the person in front of me.
Pussy.
And I always get somebody that swerves over and takes that space away so I have to back up even more. Like it pisses me off to no end that I have people that always swerve in that little gap right there. I'm keeping a safe distance. And then their ass swoops in. And then if there's a stop in front of me, then they have no time to react, and then everybody's fucked up. So that's a real big pet peeve of mine, is people just swerving in on my 3-car link gap, man. Not fucking cool, bro. Not cool.
You're going to visit me this summer. Oh, good. Shut up.
D4, you don't know anything. You have to get as close as you possibly can so you can draft and save
Yeah.
gas.
Right,
Save
safe
gas,
gas.
fella.
Yeah. My
But,
mom tried to
you're-
teach me that one time. But anyways, go ahead.
You're going to try and visit me this summer, right, D4?
Yeah, I am, actually. I'm coming to
so
you, my dude.
you better not trip whenever I drive, man. I'm gonna take you on some fun.
Bitch, I ain't getting in the car with you. I'm gonna be honest. Okay,
Come on, man.
guesstimate how many miles per week you drive. How many miles?
I don't fucking know.
Guesstimate.
How far is Taco Bell?
Almost none.
Multiply that by 7 days.
I'm a pretty good driver, man. I think.
Come on, son. How many miles do you think you drive a week?
Almost none. I don't ever.
How many did you drive today?
0.
Okay, exactly. You have no experience. I'm not getting in a
What?
fucking car with you, dude.
Dude,
No.
I'm not gonna let you drive my car.
Well,
we
I'm
gotta,
not
man.
driving.
We gotta.
Nope, not happening. I'll drive mine, you drive yours.
What's the point of coming over then if you're not gonna hang?
I'm gonna hang.
If
We
you're
can
not-
hang wherever. I'm not getting in a fucking car with you, man.
Joel, you might visit sometime, right?
Yeah, I told you I want to visit sometime at the end of the summer next year.
Yeah. We're gonna take a ride, man. We're gonna,
And then
do
can
it.
we get in your car afterwards?
Who wants a mustache ride?
I was just talking about gay sex.
Decide,
Yeah.
can I come visit?
Yeah, only if you let me come visit first.
Oh, sweet. All right. So I'll come visit you. How's sometime after I die work?
Oh wow.
He doesn't mean it.
Send my ashes to
Yeah,
this
basically
address.
ashes. That's what
I
he
don't-
wants.
He doesn't.
I don't like
mean
where
it.
this is going.
Shut
Oh
up.
no.
Oh no, he's
Can I
dead.
come over?
No.
Let's say yes. He didn't say no.
This is not going to appeal to any new audience side. Nobody knows that I hate you and that you're not allowed over my house.
Now they do. So
yeah, now they do. So
checkmate.
you're welcome, guys.
Joel, you have any phobias?
I don't like needles. Like
Dick.
when there's like a scene in a movie where someone's using a needle, I usually have to look away.
Same.
So I understand like the concept of phobia is it's an irrational thing. Like fear, it's not like a fear. Like I don't think to myself, in the middle of the night, oh my God, what if a needle sneaks up on me? What if a needle comes to my house and rapes me? But it's like, it's like something I definitely do not want to deal with. Most doctor and dental stuff in general, I don't want to deal with. And I don't think a lot of people really like going to the doctor or the dentist. But yeah, I really don't like it. And I think the needle thing especially sticks out because I know when there's a scene in a movie where someone has to put a needle in their arm or something like that, I turn away. But that's the only thing that really comes to mind because I was in the Willis Tower and I stood in the glass box like a man. My feet didn't get numb, but tickle my it really made my balls tickle. You know when you get that ball tickly feeling.
When it get bigger.
No, I hate that feeling. I like when they just feel like normal balls and not tickly balls. Yeah, I think the tickle.
I looked down and a child was tickling my balls.
It's like that roller coaster tickle you get from the bottom of your stomach to the bottom of your scrotum. It's just the whole full blown.
So good.
I don't like that. I really don't like. But it was interesting. I do like the Willis Tower. Megan really doesn't like heights, so if anyone cares what my wife's phobias are, okay.
That's pretty good though. I'm the same thing with needles, like big time. Like I have like passing out spells. I've had them before with needles.
You see Hacksaw Ridge yet? Sorry to interrupt.
I was going to bring that up. That was my point.
Okay, that was the one I was thinking of. The last movie I saw where the needles. I was like, oh, that's worse than when they.
I had to look away, dude. And that needle came out. I don't even know what happened.
I don't want to spoil that movie, but there's a part of the movie where a guy uses a person's torso as a shield, like a severed
That was pretty
torso.
cool, actually.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I didn't have to look away at that, but when the guy had to get his blood drawn for a physical, I was like, oh fuck.
No wonder this is rated R.
Should have been rated NC-17.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Joe. Like if it's a needle, I have to look away. If it's that gory stuff with like the torso, I'm cool with it. I'm okay with it. I'm not bad about it.
That shit makes me horny. Yeah, that shit turns me on something fierce. Yeah, cut his head off. Fuck yeah. No, but the needles are bad.
And Hacksaw Ridge, I don't want to spoil it too much, but if you know anything about the trailer or anything, this guy ends up saving a lot of people, okay? I'll just say that. And when he saves a lot of people, in the movie, they show, like, almost every single one. I thought the movie went a little too long with that, by the way. I don't know how you feel about that, Joel, with Hacksaw Ridge, but I thought they could have shortened it a little bit and gave us a little bit more background on him or a little bit after the war kind of stuff, but I don't know. I don't want to ruin it too much, but that was...
I thought it was. I don't want to turn it into like full blown movie reviews, but if anyone wants to see Hacksaw Ridge when it comes out on whatever it comes out, I was gonna say DVD, but that's a little dated now. You got your Netflix and stuff. When it comes out on the Streamverse, I would check it out because I like war movies, and Saving Private Ryan is like that to me. That's the top of the mountain. But Hacksaw Ridge isn't too far from the summit. Like it was a really solid movie. Good. There was a lot of backstory. And there was a lot of great fighting scenes. Just one more, please God. But it was a great movie, and I'm looking forward to some more good movies in December. But Hacksaw Ridge is a good one.
Was it not like 2.5 hours though, or maybe even longer?
It didn't feel like it was too long.
It didn't. I had to piss like a motherfucker.
Okay.
The thing that I thought was they just spent too much time like building the thing up, and like if you've seen the trailer, know he's. I don't know. I don't want to ruin the movie if you haven't seen a trailer or anything, but I feel like the backstory was way too long.
Yeah,
it was like we already know what's gonna happen, so get to it.
I need more sex scenes. Yeah.
I was waiting for the death and the destruction. I was like, when is the killing gonna start?
Why aren't they killing him?
But I don't know. I like the build up. It was a good.
It was a good movie.
Vince Vaughn was really good at it. You were right, though.
He made the whole movie.
He was great.
Vince Vaughn's awesome.
That scene was the best part of the movie.
It was. I laughed my balls off.
Yeah, switch topics. Side hasn't seen this movie. Have you seen this movie, Side?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I usually haven't seen these.
Where they're in the barracks.
Yeah.
When Vince Vaughn's in there.
When he first seen
the first time Vince Vaughn's on screen.
Yeah.
I mean, can you say something?
Dude has a knife in his foot. That part.
Oh yeah, okay.
Way too much of it.
That was great. That was amazing. Speaking of like best movies you've seen, my favorite movie of all time is got to be Shawshank Redemption. I could watch that movie 1 billion times, and I just thought that that movie was so well done, and they just did such a good job of telling the story. I didn't really know what direction it was going to go with the first time I saw it, but it is. If you haven't seen that movie, I think it's one of the top 10 movies of all time. No matter what kind of movies you like, I think that movie kind of fits for everybody. That Morgan Freeman is amazing in it, and he's just got a good storyline all together. But what about you guys? What is like the number one movie of all time that you guys could go and watch right now and be satisfied with watching it?
Well,
what a high bar.
I would like to start off. Well, I mean, there's two. There's Remember the Titans, which, I mean, everybody's seen, everybody can probably relate to.
I love it.
And then there's an anime movie, The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya.
I've actually seen. Yeah, that's actually
Awesome.
that's on my list too.
No, I'll watch it. If you really think it's that good, I will watch it for you.
Well, I mean,
Shadow.
What's it called?
I'll write this down.
I mean, the thing is, it's like...
What's the name?
Don't I seriously want to hear the name.
I do too. I'm trying to write it down.
Because fucking giggle.
The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Why are you guys doing this to him? He actually thinks we know.
Harvey?
No,
is it Harvey? Like Harvey?
I don't think.
Like a guy named Harvey?
But no, you're not going to understand any of it unless you watch like the entire series.
It's over my head.
Before it.
Oh.
So I mean, it's why like you know, I kind of know.
Oh.
Is it subtitles and stuff like that? What is this?
No, you can watch it
No.
in English.
Okay. No, you got to be able to speak Japanese.
I watch it in
You
English.
have to be Japanese to watch it.
But no, like it was a movie. Like people, like you know, you think of like a good movie, and you finish watching it, you're just like, damn, and it's just like it's on your mind for like the rest of the day or like the next 2 or 3 days or whatever. And that movie had that effect on me. I'm like, fuck, man, like I don't want to do anything but watch this movie again.
Don't ruin it for me, but give me the outline of the movie. Give me the what's going on. Well, don't give me. Oh my god, I'm intrigued, man. I'm intrigued. Give me the outline.
The whole plot of the story is there's this girl who has the power to change the universe to whatever she wants to, but she doesn't know that she can do it, so she does it like subconsciously. Like just a small example in the series is there's like they're filming a movie and she's like, oh wow, like we could really use these birds. I wish they were white doves because they were pigeons. So they just filmed it with the pigeons, and the next day they were white doves. And so like just a whole bunch of shit like that happens. And the main character is just somebody who just wants to live a normal life, but he gets sucked into all this bullshit, and he just like throughout the whole series he pretty much just complains about how difficult his life is. And then in the movie, like everything changes just for no reason or whatever, and so like he realizes like, wow, you know what, it was kind of fun having like a whole world that was kind of fucked up with this girl changing everything, and so he has to like he has to try to get back, figure out like how to get back to the world. And just the way that it was done was it was just really well done, how they slowly revealed different things. It's like a 2 hour and 45-minute movie. So like it really took its time to like go from place to place and just really, really detailed, especially for like an animated movie. But yeah, like it finished, and I was blown away by it.
I just finished.
Oh, what about you, Joel? What's a movie that you can always go back to?
I don't know. I haven't seen like some of the really heralded American classic movies, and I feel bad about it. I don't know why I haven't watched them. Maybe I'm just saving them for a rainy day. I haven't seen Shawshank, and I know it's regarded as one of the best American movies of all time. And I haven't seen Goodfellas, and everyone in my family loves it, but I just haven't watched it. I actually own the Blu-ray. I don't know. I should watch it. Maybe I'll save it for a rainy day, like I said. But I don't have like a one movie that I can think of in particular. I go back to, this is gonna sound kind of nerdy, I guess, but I really go back to the Star Wars and Star Trek movies a lot, because I used to watch those growing up. That was a lot of my youth. My dad's really into Star Wars, and I stayed at my grandparents a lot growing up. They watched me a lot, and they had his like sister lived with them, and she would watch like all the Star Trek stuff. So I got really into that growing up. So those movies, like Star Trek Next Generation stuff in particular, and the original Star Wars movies, I go back to those. There's a big marathon on TV. I was watching that today. So that's like the nostalgic stuff. In terms of movies that I really like and could just turn on at any point. I said this before, but I just keep coming back to The Social Network. I really like that movie.
I love that movie too. Good
because I like great writing, and like Aaron Sorkin. You could make memes out of some of the things he says. He's very repetitive in his writing, but I just think that movie is written so perfectly. And when actors perform Aaron Sorkin's dialogue, it is like music to my ears. It's just really nice, and I think that movie's topical. It should have won the Best Picture for the Oscars that year. The King's Speech beat it, and I was so upset about that. I normally don't care about awards, but I just thought that movie is about the generation we're living in right now, a generation of millennials, and I think it's a shame that it did not win Best Picture because it's a really great movie, and I think it's going to be kind of like a Dazed and Confused for this generation, or that's kind of about the 70s. It came out in the 90s, but just one of those, one of those movies. Like if you look back at movies that came out between 2000 and 2010, what are the standouts? And I think The Social Network will be up there.
I like my boy JT on that one, man.
Oh yeah, he's a douche. Yeah, Sean Parker, he's a douche.
Yeah,
I want to make sure that came out between 2000 and 2010 because I'm not. It came out in 2011.
Yeah, it came
out. Okay. Yeah. So, but I mean, the movies that came out in the early 21st century. That's I don't know. I was watching that today. Even it was on FXX.
Oh, was it really? Dang, man, I gotta go watch it.
Yeah, it's a big movie day today because all the big Oscar movies are coming out in December. So people are replaying some movies that people had roles in, and like I said, Star Wars marathon all this weekend. So it's a lot of TV today. Hard to work. Hard to not get distracted.
I remember what it was like to Joel, go over to your grandparents' house and they had always something you watch. Like my grandma is super religious, so she wouldn't let me watch anything that was crazy. And I remember I always went over to her house and she always made me watch Little House on the Prairie. I know it sounds really bad, but she made me watch that in the morning, and she always cooked me oatmeal. And then later on in life, one of my first video games I ever got from her as a present, she gave money to my mom to go get a video game, and that video game just so happened to be Grand Theft Auto. So I was always like, Grandma got me Grand Theft Auto, so she didn't know I'm killing people.
Switch up.
Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, we used to watch a bunch of weird things at my grandparents' house because my aunt who lived with them, she was like way older. So she was into some like different stuff, which is kind of cool to get exposed to some different stuff as a child. It was a lot of Star Trek. We also watched like Petticoat Junction and we watched some Little House on the Prairie, Little Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Yeah,
You know what? Walker, Texas Ranger.
You betcha, bud.
Dude, we watched some of that. There's an episode of that. I have no idea what the episode is, but I can remember like almost crying because I was so scared about like some of the murder. Like it was some murder happening in Walker, Texas Ranger. If I watched it today, I'd probably think that I had mental problems.
Yeah,
like I couldn't handle shit as a child.
They're
like I was
so
so weak. Yeah, so weak. Those 90s scenes of killing and fake special effects are just so good. They get to me. But I have a lot of memories of stuff like that.
You know what another show like that is MacGyver. Go back and watch some MacGyver, dude. That was so bad.
I never watched it, but I've seen like the Will Forte parody. Yeah, MacGruber. Yeah,
MacGruber.
I like Will Forte. That's all I know.
It's just like that, and it's just like, oh, it's gonna blow up in 3, 2, 1, and it's like so bad. But anyways, back to the subject. Movies that you can't get away from that you have to watch. D20, what is one for you, my dude?
Like for me, like I like watching a lot of movies, but I don't know. I feel like when I watch a movie that's like good, that has like some plot twists and stuff like that, I always find myself like hoping like, oh, I hope they don't get caught this time, kind of thing. Like deep down, I know they are, but like I kind of get into it in that way. But I'm not big on like watching movies, like those kind of movies, like over and over. If it's a movie I'm gonna watch over and over, it's usually like a comedy, I would say. Probably like in the span of like when Old School and the first Anchorman and stuff like that came out. Yeah, like all those movies, like I could probably watch a million times. And so I would probably go with like a comedy. I remember when I was in high school, like I probably watched Half Baked like every day.
And you're not even a stoner.
Yeah, I don't even smoke, but I just love that movie. It was hilarious with all the people that were in it.
Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle and all that. And I also watched a ton of like Chappelle Show when it was out. Like I had the DVDs and I'd watch them like over and over.
I don't want to go too far off the rails. I was gonna tweet out a poll for this, but this is actually important for something I'm doing for my YouTube channel, and I'm not gonna explain why until a later date. But what is the best Chappelle Show character? Like what is the number one Chappelle Show character? His defining character from that show, or like defining. Yeah.
Charlie Murphy, Prince, or
Rick James.
Charlie Murphy is an actual person, dude.
Well, I know, but his character. In,
you mean so Rick
James?
You mean
Rick James? Yeah. My bad. But yeah, I don't think any of those three.
Wait, what did you say? Rick James, Prince, and
Tyrone Biggums.
Yeah, that's what I was. So I had Tyrone Biggums, Prince, and I don't know if I even said. I don't know if I was even thinking Rick James. Clayton Bigsby was like one skit. That was like one.
But it was so great. The biggest one. Was it not top 3 though? For sure.
No, that's you could argue that's the number 1 skit from that show. But yeah, I'll have to. I might have to tweet out a poll. Yeah, because it's very important to figure this out. But I'll tell you why later.
So big, like that show was so defining of comedy during that time. I really think if he did that show now, it would get backlash after backlash because he brought up so many issues now that people
there was no Facebook
so
or anything like that.
Yeah.
There was no really social media in 2000. Ooh, when was that? That was like early. I think that was 2005, maybe. That was probably 2005, 2006 time.
No.
I
think
like 3 or 4.
I think it really was like 11 years ago because there was stuff that came out in the news about how he turned down $50 million for the 3rd season, and then for this Netflix deal he has, where he has 3 specials coming out on Netflix in the next.
The first episode was 03, January 03. The final episode was July 06.
Ooh, so y'all both right.
But I think the 06 was when they released the never before
Lost
seen
episode.
stuff.
Yeah, so he really like turned it down probably.
So it was really like 03,
he probably turned it down
04
beginning.
was the
Well,
two
so
seasons.
the shit probably went down like end of 2005, early 2006, where he like left to Africa and stayed there for a couple months or whatever it was. Yeah. So, but he's making $60 million for this new Netflix special, so it was relevant in the news again that he turned that down, raised his family, and then came back and made even more money, or just about the same amount of money with inflation. But it was cool to. I'll tell you why I'm doing that later. I don't want to derail the whole thing, but it's I'm thinking either Tyrone or Prince. But
Prince. Here's what I heard about Prince thing. I heard Prince was actually really, really good at basketball. I'm not joking you. I've heard that
he was
really
a
good.
Sports fan, dude.
Yeah, I heard it was really good, and they based that off of a real thing that happened.
He would go to Timberwolves games, like he would tell the people he's coming, and then sometimes he wouldn't show up. But he went to a Warriors game in the last year before his death. He was a really big sports fan. Like he was famous for being kind of I don't know how you would say, like androgynous or kind of more effeminate as a male, even though he had sex with a lot of women most likely. But he was a really big sports fan from all accounts.
D20, when we were in college, we would play basketball and the whatever center, whatever it's called,
rec center.
Pretty much at the college. But anyways, we'd play, and I remember every time we'd play, he would always, if he shot it and made it, he'd go game. Blouses.
Game blouses.
Every time. I was like, what the fuck? And then
because I made it a lot, that's what he said.
We should do like fader, and we throw the ball up like really, really high and try to it's a layup, right? So we just throw it like to the roof, try to make a layup that way.
Yeah.
Anyways, we do stupid shit like that, like we were Prince back then. But that was just fun stuff back then. But yeah, I have to say, all the Chappelle Show stuff is amazing. I need to go back and watch a lot of that stuff because you forget how smart all those skits were, how perfectly done all those things were. So those were amazing. But anyways, getting back to topic, sidearms. I want to hear you, even though I know.
Oh, I thought you guys were never going to ask.
Even though I already know.
What's your favorite non-Marvel movie?
It's actually, I don't know. I'll have to think about that one, but I've been preparing for this moment. So.
Go ahead. I want you to give
Avengers.
And why, though? Why? Just give us why.
Because it has Iron Man in it. It has a whole bunch of heavy hitters. It has a good mix of action and comedy. Banger after banger after banger. And it's really what set everything in motion in terms of how popular things are and how good the standard of the movies are held at now. It's just something I can watch, every day pretty much for the rest of my life. Well, probably not. I don't think anyone has that kind of. I mean, if they're saying that, they're lying. You'll get bored of anything eventually. But Let me say something about movies in general. I think in general, superhero movies are the best movies that ever come out. I guess nowadays, like there's no other movie that I feel like get the most consistent high reviews besides like the Marvel films.
Like people are just so die-hard about it beforehand.
So are you saying that superhero movies are the best, or you're saying Marvel movies are the best? Is what you're saying? So amend your statement.
Come on, Batman.
Because Suicide Squad sucked. So, I enjoyed it.
The DC universe is not off to
it does
a hot
not
start, but I mean, would you say that the Avengers is a better superhero movie than The Dark Knight? Because I would disagree. I think The Dark Knight is the best superhero movie that has come out in history.
Thank you.
Did you guys?
You would say Avengers?
But you haven't even watched the Avengers.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know people that know people. I don't.
Okay.
I don't need to watch that PG-13 garbage. PG-13. Shut the fuck up. They almost say "fuck" in it. You know what I'm really excited for? Actually, that I like the X-Men a lot, and I like that Deadpool was cool that came out this year. That was a great movie. I liked seeing an R-rated superhero movie. That was cool. And I'm looking forward to Logan in March of next year to finish out the original X-Men series with Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart. That's going to be...
Is that his last movie?
Very nice.
X-Men movie?
That's both of their last X-Men movies, allegedly. I mean, they make so much money from those. Who knows when it's... Jay-Z retired in 2003 and he's still making music somehow.
That's funny.
No, actually, I think it was like 2006, whenever the Black Album came out. But yeah, it's going to be a banger. I just don't know... The thing that gets me about the Marvel movies is I hate the first one. Like, I really think the original Iron Man is such a... You know how you have things where everybody thinks something is great, and then you're like the one person who's like, I don't get it? Yes. For me, the biggest one would be Iron Man, probably, in terms of pop culture.
So you're a hipster, is what you're saying.
Oh, I'm a big hipster. I'm a big anti-Iron Man hipster.
Yeah. Wait, everyone likes this movie? No. Me? No, I don't like it.
No, I just feel like, it gets universal praise, and I just really didn't get it. Like, I was like, man, I really don't like this movie. But same with Trainwreck came out this year. I was like, I love LeBron James and I love Bill Hader, and I'm not like a big fan of Amy Schumer's comedy or anything, but I was like, man, I really did not think this movie was funny at all.
What, you don't like her saying my vagina?
My vagina. Jesus Christ. Now you're being sexist. But so if I don't like the movie that starts the whole series, and it starts this, if you watch one Marvel movie, you have to watch them all because they're all connected and there's all this lineage of the universe. Actually, that's not true because I love Guardians of the Galaxy, and I watched that without knowing anything about the other movies. But other than Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't know if I want to watch any Marvel movies, even though Civil War gets good reviews and all that stuff. And I'm probably going to watch the next Spider-Man. God, I'm a fucking hypocrite.
The next Spider-Man is Deadpool, right? He's Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, black and red Spider-Man is Deadpool.
No, it's a little boy. It's Tom Holland.
Joel, by the way, Jay-Z retired in 2003.
Oh, so I was right?
Yeah.
That was when the Black Album came out?
Whoa.
You gotta get that
Joel.
dirt off your shoulder.
Did anyone hear what he just said?
Jesus said you were such a youth. You should have a...
Hashtag 2000.
There should be a ban. D4, can you create rules for this podcast? If we're talking about topics that happened before 2006, Side can't comment. Actually, let's make it 2007. Yeah, let's make it 2007.
Let's make it 2008 so we can't talk about Iron Man. That's what
I feel so bad for Side because whenever he has dirt on his shoulder, he doesn't know what to do with it.
You gotta brush it off.
Gotta get it off. Yeah. He just knows how to whip and nay-nay. That's all he knows how to do.
Yeah. You guys ever heard of 3-6 Mafia? Academy Award winners? Have any of the rappers won Academy Awards?
Oh,
I don't want to go into weird crew things I think about, or like weird things I think about with my friends. But the weird thing where you only remember music from the year 2008 always gets me. It really
is crazy.
Yeah, he only listened to rap music for 2 years, 2007 and 2008, and it's all the rap music that is able to fit in his brain. So he constantly brings up.
It is true.
Yeah, like some 3-6 and
T.I.
and some old T.I. Yeah,
T.I. trap music. Hold on, when did these things come out? You're just making up stuff, man. You're just throwing out numbers.
Constantly.
See, 24's the hit song by T.I. was released in 2003 in trap music. A Rubber Band Man, Wild as a Taliban was released in 2003. Yeah. Be Easy. Those are the only songs I remember.
But when did you go back and listen to trap music? Because you didn't listen to it in 2003.
I did. My brother listened to all that kind of. Were you fucking there, Joel?
Wait, hold on. Your brother
you didn't.
Your brother was letting an extreme youth listen to it. Do you want to say how old you were? You were a little boy, man.
Not very old, but who cares? I watched South Park when I was that young too, dude. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was. I watched it with my parents.
That explains why you're friends with a bunch of old men who swear, dude. You need to feel the feeling of your youth again.
Oh wow!
But I won't ride in cars with them because they'll kill me.
Exactly.
Texting and driving, fella.
That's what we learned today. Yeah. Aside, to be honest, one of the first things, this kind of brought this up. One of the first things I remember as a younger adolescent child was that.
Adolescent child.
I know I can't say that, it's like oxymoron. But anyways, I remember what was the first thing you guys did and you thought that your parents would kind of be ashamed of when it comes to like, I don't know, like video games, watching a TV show. For me, it was South Park. When I watched South Park, I knew my parents really wouldn't approve of it. So when I watched it, I always had to watch it when they weren't around. So I remember watching South Park and be like, oh, I'm fucking cool because I'm watching South Park.
For me.
So I don't know what you guys were, but it was South Park for me for sure.
Guess me. Guess what mine is.
I don't really know. I'm drawing
listening to Eminem.
Oh, really?
I was gonna say watching 8 Mile.
Yeah, watching 8 Mile and listening to Eminem. Yeah, because that was the time Eminem was a superstar. Was when I was between the ages of 9 and like 15. So when you're in like middle school and high school, it's not that bad. But obviously, when you're 9, you're not in middle school. So it was like. You would listen to like actually this is the most random thing. This is some pre-internet shit. But on my bus, some kid we didn't have MP3 players. Remember the CD players that were portable? Like it was obviously just shaped like a CD, and then you could take it around with you or whatever. So that's what I would listen to my edited copy of Get Rich or Die Trying that my parents got me for my birthday.
Of course.
From 50 Cent. Yeah, I was like, there was one song you couldn't even play. Because it was so many swears. I was like, oh, goddamn parents. But they were more chill with that shit after that. But hip-hop was just starting to become a major mainstream thing at this time, so I can understand why they had those views. Anyway, on my bus, I had my CD player, and a lot of other people on the bus had the CD players, and one of the people on the bus dropped their copy of the Marshall Mathers LP, and it was explicit, and I had never heard music like that before. That was crazy. And I remember where I was the first time I heard Without Me off of the Eminem show. I was in my mom's minivan with my brother, and it came on the radio, and she even thought it was pretty cool. So I got a cool mom in terms of music.
What do you mean dropped? Like you stole it, Jill?
Oh, well, okay. Well, I mean, they lost it, and I found
it.
I don't know who dropped it. If there was a sign on the bus the next day that said missing Marshall Mathers LP CD reward $5, I probably would have. I would have said, if there was no reward, I wasn't gonna give it back. But if there was a sign on the bus that said missing Marshall Mathers LP, my dying grandfather gave this to me. It's a sincere, nostalgic gift. Please give it back.
Well, but, all these conditions instead of, hey man, did you see my Marshall Mathers CD?
Nobody asked me that.
Man. No,
I wasn't friends with anyone on the bus. You know,
I can't believe
like
it.
Some people have the bus rides where they're friends with all the bus.
Yeah.
In my neighborhood, I wasn't friends with any of those
drop
people.
their TVs in their house. Or you think
the only person I was friends with in my neighborhood was my dad home to school. So I had to ride the fucking bus, and then nobody came to me about the CD. It was my fucking CD. I found it. It was 2003.
SMH, dude. SMH.
I didn't see a reward poster, dude. I'm a thief.
Where'd you sit on the bus, Joe? I have to know this.
Where did I sit?
Yeah, for us, it was younger kids in the front. The back was like the seniors that were no-lifers.
The cool kids club.
No, ours was no-lifers, but I always got to... So my first bus route to this house... So I'm thinking of bus routes to my house where I was in for middle school, and then the freshman year of high school. It was my... So... we moved houses in between middle school and high school. So in middle school, that bus route had no one on it. There was 6 people. So it really would have been easy to figure out who had that CD. But I needed it more. I needed to learn about hip hop.
But you didn't even
I needed to learn about hip hop and swear words. So that really educated me. But the next bus route. So I just sat wherever I wanted on that bus because it was just such an empty bus. But I tend to sit in the back. I like to be in the back. Just if I want to JO or HJ myself, but the bus driver can't see. I don't know why. But on my second the second time I rode the bus for 2 years before I got a driver's license, I sat in the back because I had a couple of friends near where my new house was, and it was like the little cool group in the back, and we were freshmen, but I was into sports. So if you were, I played basketball and I was on the track team for the first 2 years of high school, and I was in with a lot of the way to get in with the older kids, like the cool older kids, was to be involved in sports, and you would kind of intermingle that way. So I mean, as freshmen, we just sat back there, and I'm that guy. How was that cool? I was just in the back of the bus with the older kids.
Hell
but it's all back of the bus all day. Why? Where were you? Were you front seat? Asking the driver, how his day's going?
Can I drive? Number one driver.
Hold on, man. I don't ride the bus. I need to drive the bus. Hold on real quick. But no, like I told you, when we were younger, our city that we lived in, when we went to junior high, we had to then ride a bus to this other city, right? So we were the youngest ones on the bus. When you went to 7th grade, it was for me for junior high, where my school was. But 7th grade, you had to get on a different bus than you had been getting on to go to this other city that was 30 minutes away. So when I got on that bus, we were the youngest ones on that bus, so I was always sitting up at the front, and then the older you get in the back. But by the time I was in 10th grade, I was driving, so I never really got to the back. But I remember the kids in the back were a bunch of losers. I'm not joking you. There were seniors back there and juniors, and they were always cutting up. They were idiots, and I was like,
cutting up.
What?
What do you mean cutting up?
Like cut up, like acting just crazy, just straight up. Just crazy. Oh. They were just idiots throwing stuff.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Not like cutting
stuff. Just blasted My Chemical Romance.
No.
Which I'm a fan. I like them.
I do like. I remember that the other day you were talking about one of their songs, anyways, and I was like, yeah. That's
no,
awesome.
I think. I don't want to switch that. I like hearing your bus stuff, but I think the Black Parade is the best music I've ever. I think that's the best album of all time.
It was Black Parade.
See, that one's easy for me. Like if you had to tell me what album I can listen to for the rest, I'd like if I could have two, so I could have like a hip hop album in there as well. But the Black Parade would have to be one of them because I still listen to that, and it came out so long ago.
But just to finish that story, we just had a bunch of idiots in the back, and I never wanted to be the kid in the back of the bus because I knew they were a bunch of losers. So, anyways, that was kind of the deal.
Want to be one of the cool kids in the front of the bus.
Exactly. But what about you, D20? What about you, Shadow? What about you, Side? What was something that you did that you didn't want your parents to kind of find out that you did, whether it was watching a TV show, playing a video game, whatever it might be?
My parents let me do anything, pretty much.
Play video games with older males.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm not sure I'm the best one for this topic. I mean, I don't want them to find out I jerk off.
Oh wow.
but I'm sure they already know.
Do you know why that is? It's because he's the youngest. Youngest gets whatever he wants.
Yep. He's the baby.
He's the baby, dude. Baby can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, man. I watched South Park.
I
listen. Yeah, exactly.
The baby. He got the baby.
That's why they didn't let me do anything. They felt so sorry for my small penis.
Oh wow.
Okay, well let's move on.
Shadow? What about you, Shadow? Yeah.
Watching wrestling.
Wrestling? That was like a no-no for you?
I mean, it wasn't a no-no. Like my parents were kind of like sidearms where, and by parents I mean my mom, since I lived with my mom. Like she didn't. Like my brother and I just thought like, oh wow, like if our mom came in and caught us watching wrestling, we'd get in trouble. So like we'd always just like try to sneak it. But my mom wasn't dumb. And
she knew.
Like,
right.
Like she knew, but like she just kind of let us be jackasses and like let us worry and everything. Like we just change the channel real quick whenever she'd walk in, and like she'd just pretend she didn't notice.
And
I mean, but wrestling even back, like I'm not the biggest fan now, so maybe I'm speaking out of turn. But wasn't that seen as like kind of a more aggressive era of wrestling where it was kind of like harder to watch TV? I can't remember what they call that. It's not the Bad Boy era, but something. Oh, the Attitude era.
Yeah. That was the best. No, I was so into wrestling.
I think everybody was
from
our age group.
98 to like 2003.
Yeah, some Stone Cold Steve Austin, dude.
Yeah, that during the Rock and Stone Cold and everything, I remember kids in my school getting suspended for doing the DX sound, and people would say, "Suck it."
They're not bothered in our school. Because kids would do it to teachers, and like teachers didn't know what it was.
Oh my
It really would. Like if someone said something like, "You cut in front of me. You cut in front of me." Like, suck it, man, suck it. And then it's like all the time, no matter what it was. Fourth grade,
poisoning the youth, dude.
Damn, did you went to school with a bunch of assholes?
Yeah, basically.
Those are all the kids that sat in the back of the
Suck
bus.
it.
We went to a huge school, dude, and there was a bunch of suck-its going on. Okay, buddy, all right, just suck it every time they don't agree.
There was one time, like, there was one kid who was, like, probably, like, 3 years older than I was, who, like, kind of influenced my brother and I, like, into liking wrestling. And one time we just went around the neighborhood. It was me, him, my brother, and, like, 4 other kids. And, like, we would just get up into a line and, like, walk up to just, like, any kid that was in the neighborhood and then just, like, fucking synchronized suck it. And we got in trouble for that. Like, my mom was like, "Really? Like, why are you doing this? Like, why?" I'm like, I don't know. We're sorry. So we got in trouble for that. But yeah,
Tony, hit us with your thing, because I got a topic I want to slip in before after his.
Well, see, the thing is, I was actually thinking the same thing as Shadow. Mine was wrestling, because like for a while, like my mom worked nights, and so my dad was home with us, and he didn't care what we watched, so we'd watch, WCW and WWF, and then like they switched. Well, they worked at the same place, but they switched to where my dad was going to be working nights, and then my mom was going to be home with us or whatever. And so like we'd always watch like WCW and like we'd switch over to WWF like when she wasn't in there, just because it was a little more mature. Like like it had a lot more like half naked girls and cussing and stuff like that.
Oh my God, Sable!
So it's like we'd have it on. It'd be a Monday night, and we'd have it on WWF, and we'd hear her coming down the hall. We'd switch it back to WCW and stuff like that. But that's probably the first one I can remember, because like Shadow said, like wrestling was like everything. Like I remember like talking with my friends, like all we do all day is like talk about wrestling. Like, oh my God, you see so and so Sting and Wolfpack and all that shit.
Kane was the shit, and Trish Stratus did things to my body that I didn't understand.
I didn't know my body worked that way.
Oh shit, that's funny. Who was your favorite wrestler, by the way, Shadow? I have to know.
Kane.
I can see you being that guy.
Because of mask.
Kane and Mankind.
Yeah, your mask that you have really looks like Kane.
Mankind was the best.
Kinda. That wasn't like the
intention, but yeah,
that wasn't the inspiration for it at all. But yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Can I slip my topic in? I feel like it's a good one, so I feel bad bringing it up this late in what we're talking about. But I want to know if anyone had any funny like school controversies. Like, remember that show on MTV that they used to play sometimes? High School Stories, Scandals, Pranks, and Controversies. Mine wasn't that good, but I just thinking about high school and shit. Oh yeah, I want to hear your side. But I thinking about high school. I was just remembering this time in high school. It was like, I think we were in 8th grade. Everyone started doing this thing where they would fold up paper. So they were like little triangles, like really tightly folded up little triangles. That
was it Hornets?
Yeah, Hornets.
Yeah, that's mine. That's what. Yeah, that was yours too. Yeah,
we had like Hornet War in the school. Like people were creating like Hornets, like ammunition. So for people who don't know who are watching the video,
I know
you would have a rubber band. You would put a rubber band on your thumb and your index finger, and then you would put a folded up piece of paper over it, and so you sling it back, and I mean it shoots like a slingshot, and it hits people and it hurts, and you would like put paper clips on them to make them more lethal. And we started this like school-wide Hornet War to the point where we had to have a big, what do you call those big meetings in gyms? I can't remember, like not pep rally, like a negative pep rally, but anyway, the principal assembly. Yeah, so the principal had to let us know that it's a serious matter to assault other people. And we all had to turn
the same thing happened.
Yeah, we all had to turn in our ammunition. There was a table, and we had to put our pieces of paper on the table as we walked out of the gym. And if you got caught with any, you would get suspended for 3 days.
Oh wow, that was a big
deal. It was some deep shit. I'm like, I want to cry laughing about how sad that was. We went to the whitest high school ever. Oh my god,
that's funny.
I'm sad that was yours too, Side, because
yeah. You pretty much said the whole thing. I don't remember if anyone got suspended or not. I would never do them, so I wasn't the guilty one, Bill.
I was on the front line.
First you steal, and now you assault other people. I can't believe it.
Okay, I wasn't like a general, but I was
a general.
I was a foot soldier, dude. I mean, I'm not just gonna let somebody shoot me. Dude. I gotta shoot back. Not on these streets.
Bang bang, Detroit.
I wore polo shirts, dude. What am I? I'm a tough guy.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Well,
here's what I remember.
Do you have a good one, D4?
I remember one, and I wasn't involved in it, and you'll know why in just a second. But there was a bunch that kind of like barely kind of glistened through my mind. But I remember this one because I remember being in 9th grade, and it was so stupid back then because I didn't know the full extent of it, anyways. But there was these bracelets. It's not the ones that that fold into different shapes and all that stuff like animals or anything. But I remember there's these bracelets, and all these girls had them, and they're really thin. And it was if one of the guys went up to a girl and broke the bracelet, then the girl had to do a sexual favor for the guy, kind of thing. So that was what was said.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's what was said. That was what was said. And so everybody went around breaking bracelets and giving people bracelets, and girls but it was never like a thing. Like no one ever, there was no sexual acts going on. But I remember everybody like, that girl's a hoe because she's wearing a bracelet and she wants someone to break the bracelet. So that was the big thing. We're like, if you wear a bracelet, you're a hoe. But there was always that group of people that were wearing the bracelets. And then there was this big thing, like the teachers had to talk to us like, this is not what it means. This is not blah, blah, blah. And this is 9th grade, by the way. And, I acted like I know what's going on, but I didn't know at the time sexually what was going on in 9th grade, like what all that stuff was in the first place. Like I kind of knew, but I didn't know. Your boy friends, your guy friends. Not my boyfriend, but my guy friend. But my guy friends, we talk. We have our boy talk. We would talk about girls and what we knew.
Locker room talk.
Locker room talk, exactly.
Yeah. Thanks, Trump.
So we had our locker room talk, like what's going on and stuff. And I just remember that phase in 9th grade of this thin bracelets that guys would try to break on these girls. And there were some girls you didn't want to get around because they were slutty, and there was the girls that just weren't attractive, and you didn't want to break their bracelet. So it was always funny when you laugh at them, like, "Bitch, why you got a bracelet on? Ain't nobody trying to break that shit." But other than that, it was funny at the time, but it was just I don't know.
You give that bracelet to a hot chick.
You little deluded youth.
But that's pretty much it that I can remember from junior high. But I have little ones, but I just can't remember the rest of them for right now. What about you guys?
Anyone else?
I mean, like, we had, like, the whole, like, hazing thing, like, when you came into, like, 10th grade, because ours was 10th, 11th, 12th. So, like, 10th grade.
Y'all motherfuckers in the same school?
Yeah. So, like, all the seniors would, like, do stuff to the sophomores, slap dogs,
Slap dog.
So, slap dog. Anyway.
Wait, so can we explain this? What is a slap?
That's what they called sophomores. I don't know.
Oh, they call them slap dogs?
Yeah. I don't know why.
What do they call them? What do they call freshmen?
They were at different schools, so they were king of the junior high over there.
Yeah.
Oh, so like 7th through 9th?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember like a lot of stuff.
6th through 8th.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff like go on those nights, but like I had an older brother that was 4 years older than me, so the seniors were 2 years older than me. So like we were kind of like my brother had some friends that were 10th grade or 2 years behind him or whatever, and so I rode around with some of the football guys that were seniors that were my brother's friends, and like nobody messed with me. But I know some people got like saran wrapped and put in the back of the truck, and they went through a car wash and shit with them.
Shit happening,
and people like getting saran wrapped to the the football post, like, and just left there overnight.
Yeah, we kind of flooded.
Yeah, Side, you want to criticize me for assault again? Jesus, dude.
I didn't do any of it. I was safe.
Hey, to add to that story, I was a few years behind D20. But we had same thing, and I remember it's always on like the homecoming week or whatever. It's float night. But we always, when we got out of football practice, We jumped in my buddy's car. We took off. We hid at his house the whole time. We didn't answer the door for nobody. We were like scared to death when this happened. Like we were like, this is not going to happen to me. I'm not getting caught. But I remember the next day coming back, and there's pictures of like this group of girls that got caught and they got put through the car wash and stuff.
This shit reminds me of like The Purge, dude.
Pretty much, that's what it is.
We also had a purge at our school. Yeah.
We also killed. It was the night when it was legal to kill.
What did you guys do to kids who like Pokemon?
Pokemon wasn't a thing in my school.
At our school.
It wasn't a thing, man.
We had a big sign that said no virgins.
There's a few unmarked graves in the woods where those kids are sitting.
Oh shit! We treated them like Pokemon. We caught them all. We got rid of them. Right?
We put them in small balls.
Oh man! Anything from you, Shadow?
No, I can't think of anything.
No scandals.
I mean,
no
there was
pranks.
I had sex with a teacher. I was homeschooled.
There was there was like the whole Hornet thing, and then there was the whole standard, principal getting arrested for molesting girls
of
thing.
Course.
It's in every school, like.
Uh-huh.
But
Did you go to any Penn State
I
camps?
must have missed that point.
Yeah,
I can't really think of anything that happened. There was actually, now that I think about it, there was one time there was a kid who got in a fight, and after a teacher, cleared up the fight and everybody like went back to their fucking classes and shit, somebody had shit themselves.
nice.
And so there was the rumor going on that either one of the kids in the fight literally got the shit knocked out of him.
Classic.
That would be such a cool thing.
So there was, you either subscribe to that theory, or there was a girl who was kind of like a special needs student who, unfortunately, was also accused of doing it because she got scared and she was wearing a skirt. So, I mean, yeah, but that's pretty much, that's it. That's my school controversy.
I have a question for you, Shadow. If that's okay with the rest of the group.
No, it's not.
For the being ashamed of whatever, like letting your parents know something. Are you?
I'm trying to get my mom to watch anime. Yes.
Does your mom watch anime, or like does your mom know you watch anime?
Yeah. You don't give a fuck.
I see. That's not. I don't
He's
tell
an
my
adult.
parents that kind of stuff.
Grown ass man.
Yeah.
Do what I want.
I don't know. I'd like feel embarrassed if my mom caught me watching Naruto, dude.
I'm trying to get her to watch this shit.
I'd be embarrassed if anybody caught me watching Naruto.
Oh god.
How about you bring shame?
What is this? Porn.
It's better to watch.
Yeah, do you keep porn open in another tab?
Switch over. Ooh, that was close.
Just jerk it off to some good old heterosexual porn.
I was watching like the finale of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was like 13 or something like that, and my dad was
like
waking up for work, and he came into my room. He's like, "What are you watching?" And he's like, "Oh, you're still watching Yu-Gi-Oh!" And I just felt so embarrassed, dude.
It's embarrassing that he knew what Yu-Gi-Oh was. That's embarrassing that he watches it too.
He'd buy me the cards, dude.
Oh wow. Okay.
He was Yo dealer.
Your parents don't give a shit.
It's animes, Shadow.
They got their own fucking lives to worry about. They're not going to be, oh man, how am I going to pay these bills when I got a kid who watches anime?
I know, that's exactly what I would think of.
Where did we go wrong?
Where did we mess up to where he's watching anime?
Why us?
Shouldn't he have had girls come over by now?
But instead he's watching Naruto.
That's funny.
Dude,
All
I
right.
want to invite a girl over to my house and watch anime. It's like the ideal date.
Please stop. You're never gonna get.
Please stop.
All right,
You're
guys.
a 13-year-old.
That is going to do
showing my
it
blue eyes
for
like that.
this episode of CrewCast. The podcast is episode 3. I want to thank everybody for coming again. We did put it up on SoundCloud. There are 2 episodes there, and I'll put this one up a couple days later from YouTube. Remember, share it with somebody that you like. Also, share it with somebody you don't like. That's fine too.
There was someone that doesn't have ad blocker.
There you go. But leave a comment if you guys have any suggestions what we should talk about next time. Thank you for all the people that left suggestions last time. Those were amazing. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this as well, because I really do enjoy this whole thing. It gives us a different break from making other YouTube videos, and just it's a different format. I've always wanted to do this kind of stuff, so I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And again, thank you, D20, Shadow, Joel, and Sidearms for coming on the podcast once again. If you haven't checked out their stuff, links will be down in the description like always. And that's pretty much it. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you guys next week for another podcast. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
I gotta make a theme song for this thing.